There are a handful of characters that are so iconic, you cannot imagine it ever having worked with any other actor, ever. And I think that's one of them, Louis De Palma, Taxi, another one. Is it possible that the performers in wrestling today don't bring enough originality, ingenuity, whatever, creativeness to the table to help complement the writers? The writers always get the blame, but is it half the performer's fault?
I'll tell you exactly what it is. And we were just having the conversation this morning, and you know, I think, you know, I've been around it long enough to kind of form an opinion and really take a step back and look everything, okay? The generation of wrestlers you have now, okay, they grew up in the video game era. And they sat there and they played video games, wrestling video games, okay? They did not sit there and watch Lou Albano and the Grand Wizard of Wrestling and superstar Billy Graham. They didn't see any of that. They grew up in an era where they played video games. And when they're playing video games, they're imagining that they're these wrestlers doing all these moves. Well, that's the mentality and the psychology and the philosophy that they brought into the business, that it's the match and the moves. And I can't tell you how many times when you know, especially at TNA, because I work with a lot of younger guys, they spend so much time going over the match and memorizing the match move by move. And you'll appreciate this, that when they're in the ring, okay, all they're thinking about is that what's the next move. They're taking their character and throwing it right out the window. They're not even thinking, how would my character react right now in this match if this... Do you think Bruno Sammartino was worrying about his next move, or the Wild Samoans were worrying about their next move? You know, it's funny. It's like, I take somebody, and I talk about this all the time. I think one of the people that I helped get over the most, believe it or not, in TNA was a female by the name of Madison Rayne. And the reason being is when Madison went out there and worked, she stayed in character the entire match. And by staying in character, the emotional bond was built between her and the audience, and people started to hate her. But it's if you're in there and you're going move for move for move, and the emphasis is on the match, you're taking that emotional connection away from the fan. And if you're not a wrestling fan of what happens between those ropes, you lost me.
Right.